Man, sad news. Roger Stevens, he was a good man. After I moved down from Canada by way of New England to Florida, every summer my mother would hand me a plane ticket after school finished, and I would spend all of my summers of all of my childhood into my teen years. I'd fly up, and my Uncle Greg and Aunt Judy and my cousin Jason and Megan, and I would spend my summers in Maine. I lived in Maine when I was a tiny little infant kid. Then we bounced back up to Montreal because my mother was Canadian at the time. I had dual papers because I was born in the States, and she got me dual papers for Canada. And we ended up in Florida in the 80s. Roger Stevens, man, Roger Stevens was kind of bigger than life. I mean, he had this beard down to here like a Viking. He always worked in public works. I remember when I was 16 or 17 or 18, I was up there. He's like, "Hey Jake, if you want, I'll get you a job working in the sewers, but you can't start shoveling shit. You got to work your way up." He was always a dick like that because I needed a job. But he was a good man, just salt of the earth. You have to be careful. You go to his house. The dude ate squirrels. I mean, he would catch, kill, barbecue, saute. The guy had squirrel recipes for days, right? But he made the best homemade vinegar cucumbers, which pickles, right? But when they weren't pickles, he had this recipe, and they had all these old mason jars and jelly jars in the fridge, like 12, 15, 20 of them sometimes. And he would cure these things with this different spice mix and this and that. And they were the best. I mean, you jumped out of your chair when he offered you a Roger Stevens cured pickle / cucumber thing. They were just awesome, dude. They were just fresh and homemade. Him and Cindy and Jesse and Holly, that was the fixture. They were the kids I used to be on the beach with. Roger would come out of the ocean with his big beard covered in seaweed, and he'd have crabs or mussels in his hands. He used to go diving for mussels and crabs all the time. He'd show up at my Uncle Greg's house with like 2 bushels, be up at like 4 a.m., go diving for mussels and shit, and drop them off at Greg's. And Uncle Greg would make his bouillabaisse type stuff, and I was never crazy about the mussels, kind of chewy, but when we were kids, him and Uncle Greg would sit there drinking rum and playing Elvis and laughing and having a good time, and I'm gonna miss that about him. I'm sad to get that call today. He was one of the good ones. He was a good soul, always in a good mood, always upbeat. He had his problems here and there like everybody else, but he never let it show for the most part. And he was kind, and he was decent. Small town, salt of the earth kind of vibe, man. And him and his family were very kind to me throughout the years since I was a kid. Always welcoming, always generous, always never treated you like an outsider, always like you're part of the family. And my heart breaks for the family today. So have a beer for Roger Stevens if you can. I'm not going to pour any out because I just cleaned this travertine. I'll pour it in my mouth. Rest in peace, Raj. I love you, brother. See you on the other side. And on that note, I am going to grow my beard like Roger. I am not going to cut or trim this beard for at least a year from this day. And probably just maintain it after that. Fuck it. I'm going to go Viking style. My Irish roots are calling. And it's in honor of Roger. A good man, and he's going to be sorely missed. So this one's for you, Raj. I love you, pal. See you when I see you.